right, so you're here for another Technique Tuesday, and as you've seen from the last two, we worked on cornering, and we also worked on how to boost jumps. Still working on that one. But today, we're gonna learn drops, and how to properly do drops, and different types of drops, and all these different things having to do with drops, because they are not easy for anybody. It doesn't matter how good you are, there's always a type of drop that's gonna freak you out. So we're gonna go over a couple of things, and to help me do that, I always have to have somebody way better than me at it. And today we've got Leo.
Hello.
And Leo is the founder. The founder. I was trying to think of the right word. Founder and designer for Pole Bikes, which is the bike that I've been riding forever. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you the drop that we're gonna work on, and it's pretty sketchy. It's not a big drop, but you don't really want to mess it up. And there are some pretty easy ways to mess it up. So this is a situation here. We have got sort of a it's not really awkward, but it's sort of a flat turn, a left-hand turn into this, so you can't really catch a ton of speed into it. And then right up to this little lip right here, and it can send you down, I mean, as far as you really want it to send you, and down into some nice juicy holes right there, and into a super loose right-hander. So, and there's this big giant rock waiting to catch you out too, catch your pedal or whatever. But you can see this corner is about as loose as it gets. So it's a good example of a sketchy drop.
Yep.
So you need to see when and how to look. Looking at drops before you do them is a really good idea. Straight into the corner. Nice. So that was a pretty good example of how to do that drop right there. It's nice and fast. So what are the essentials? Like, what's your goal going off of a drop? What is the main objective?
Don't hold back, don't put your weight back. That's what usually some people say, that you should push your weight back.
Yeah.
But that will actually put you at the end of the rope when you drop. So if your front end drops and you have your arms fully extended, that will shift your weight in front and you will buck.
Okay.
So you drop down from your knees and elbows, but don't go back. So when you initially go to the lip, then you can push your bike underneath you, so that'll give you more time to the corner with or whatever comes next.
So what you're saying is, when you go off the drop, you need to be like, have your tires touching the ground as soon as you can, with the weight properly distributed as fast as possible.
Yes.
So that you can corner.
Yeah, that keeps you in control.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So how do we break this down? Are there different steps to look for? Like for a drop like this, and I'll just show it right now again. It's kind of like, it's not a high-speed drop. It's more of a, well, drop. It's not, like we were talking about this earlier, and it's almost like when the drop gets fast enough, it's almost just a step down. Whereas this is really more of an actual drop.
Yes.
Because of the speeds you're going. So when you're going off of this, when you get to this lip right here, what exactly are you doing with your body position?
So I want to see where I'm gonna land first. Then I put my weight down. So that means when you go here, you push your hand, like bend from your elbows and knees right here. So I want to straighten my arms and legs before I land. Okay. So I get more suspension. This is not only your suspension is not here, it's also in your arms and legs. Right. If your arms are straight, here, what will happen now when the bike drops? You're being pulled forward by your bars now. And like this. Yeah. And that's not good news. And the rear will go higher. So you need that. You need to be able to extend your arms out when it's necessary. Yes. Okay, well, how about I'll take a turn going over this, and then you tell me how bad I'm doing. Okay. All right. So that went pretty well. I was happy with that. So going up to the drop, you can see that I'm spotting my landing and I'm in a nice neutral position on my bike with my arms and legs bent,
keeping me relatively low. Now, here is a critical moment in my opinion. On this drop, there's a pronounced lip right here. Now, when my rear tire hits that lip, it's going to pitch my bike forward. So if my arms were already in a fully stretched out position when this happens, I would also be pitched forward, tossing me over the bars and straight into next week's Friday Fails compilation. Fortunately for me, because of my low and central body position, I still had room in my arms to extend with the bike. This had me in a great position to stay in control and prep for the landing.
Alright, so that went really good, and that's a really nice thing, because that is not the end of this video. That was step number 1. Now I have to go and conquer 2 drops that I have never done and I've been scared of. There's the A-line drop that I've never even rolled up to before, and there's one drop on Schlayer that I'm going to attempt as well. So we're going to try and take some of these techniques that I seem to be able to put into use okay here, but we'll see how it goes on the big boy drops.
Yeah, you'll be fine there.
All right, let's go. All right, guys, so we did that little drop into the corner, and that went well. I did okay at it, but now it's time to put my money where my mouth is, and we're gonna go to a drop that I've been scared of every single time I've seen it. I've never, up until yesterday, I've never even attempted the trail, and I still have never attempted this drop. And it's the drop that goes right underneath the chairlift. Talk about upping the stakes even a little bit more, right? You don't wanna screw up underneath the chairlift. So this is on Schlayer. It's an intimidating looking drop to me because you can't see the landing whatsoever, as is pretty typical for drops. And you really just got finished a rather gnarly section of trail. I'm gonna zoom in. So you just got finished being punished down all of that, and you come around in through this corner. It gets a little bit rough. It looks like a decently smooth setup, and then it just sends you down that way. And there's everybody waiting to laugh at you.
So here, so you can see the hull.
Yep. But then you're landing, like where are we gonna be landing?
I would say somewhere here.
Somewhere around there. Okay. So that's probably...
You won't even see me.
So that's probably about 9 feet. So it's decent. It's got an okay run out, which I'm pretty happy about. It's not gonna get too hairy as soon as I hit the dirt. So yesterday I rolled down here with some friends, and I lucked out big time when I decided to roll this drop. I should have just gone for it, but it's just in my head, this one drop, I don't know. So if you go and look, I actually majorly lucked out when I rolled it, because rolling into this blind section for me, you can see I rolled off of there, and I happened to hit my tire on here, which actually kept me afloat rather than falling into this hole. Now my friend Eric actually rolled this once years ago and broke his scaphoid on this very spot. So it's no joke for sure. So anyways, I rolled it, and either on this rock, maybe on this rock, one of these rocks, I dented the rim, I blew my tire, and that ended what was a pretty fun run. So this is definitely a drop that you want to drop. What a shocker. Let's get him to send it, and then I'll see what I can do. Nice.
Fancy.
Yep. Wow, first time. That was good.
Well, still alive. And like, you know, like just how most of these things kind of go, like it's so much less scary when you actually just freaking go for it. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy I did that, and I'm gonna be doing that every time from here on out. So the tips really helped, not extending my arms before the drop, basically not going like, oh crap, a drop, and really kind of staying forward right until you needed to extend your arms.
Yeah, push your bike underneath you after you airborne. Yeah,
and it kind of put the bike in the right position for the landing.
Yep.
Which is another thing I'd love to talk about.
Yep.
So with this drop here, and I'll show you guys the drop again that we were just talking about. Drop, and it's actually a really nice run out, like super smooth. And you can pretty much send it as far as you want, all the way up until about there. Now, what's the difference between what you do going off the edge of a drop between something like this with a nice angled run out versus a flat drop?
Well, a flat drop is gonna be more rough. There's another technique you can land on your rear wheel, which will take a lot of stress out of your bike. Okay. And it's easier for you as well, because you're not landing on your hands.
Yeah, you almost need more suspension working in your body at the same time because it's so much of a harder impact, right?
Yes.
And that's when you see, like, yeah, Danny McCaskill dropping onto his back tire.
Yeah, but you don't want to usually land with your both wheels at the same time because your bike works, your geometry will change and sometimes you get squirmy after that.
Oh, interesting.
So it's better to land in front end or rear end. But here where you have a rollout where the bike keeps the speed, so your head angle, actually this goes a little bit too nerdy, but your head angle works that the front end don't flop when you land.
Yep.
So if you don't have speed when you land, your front end will flop if you go land with two tires at the same time.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
You're like a smart guy or something, Leo.
Now, I'm pretty pumped to report that later on that day, I used this newfound confidence and skill set to follow my pal Josh into the A-line drop, which was another feature I really wanted to check off my list. And it was no big thing.
All right, well, that was great. I hope you guys enjoyed this Technique Tuesday with Leo from Pole. And yeah, if you guys have any more ideas for more Technique Tuesdays and who I should ride with and who should show me what, let me know down in the comments. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.